Hello everyone, and welcome to our video about negotiations. It's surprising that despite spending years in school, obtaining degrees and learning various technical skills, we never really learn one of the most important skills for both our personal and professional lives: negotiations. Negotiations are a fundamental part of everyday life, from choosing a restaurant with friends to closing a multi-million-dollar business deal. Yet, many people shy away from negotiations, often because they fear the process, lack confidence, or simply don't know where to start. In this video, we will be covering 7 simple strategies that you can implement to become an elite negotiator. Whether you are looking to improve your salary, close a business deal, or even resolve a personal conflict, these strategies will help you gain the upper hand in any negotiation. Grab a notepad, pen, and get ready to take notes as we delve into the fascinating world of negotiations. By the end of this video, you will be equipped with the tools and knowledge to become a master negotiator and achieve success in both your personal and professional life. Anchoring is a psychological tactic that uses the shock value of a very high or low initial offer to create a desired reference point for the subsequent real offer. This is because the first number presented tends to anchor the rest of the negotiation. When the real offer is presented, it is compared to the anchor that you set. Therefore, if you start with a very high offer, the subsequent offers will appear lower and more reasonable. On the other hand, if you start with a very low offer, the subsequent offers will seem more generous. This way, you can control the negotiation process and create an illusion of a good bargain. For example, let's say you want to sell a car for $10,000. By using the anchoring technique, you can first suggest a price of $20,000. When the buyer hears this price, they are likely to be shocked and will expect you to lower your offer. When you subsequently offer to sell the car for $10,000, the buyer may feel that they are getting a great deal, and you have successfully used the anchoring technique. Had an anchor not been set, the real offer wouldn't seem as attractive as it does. Let's take a look at another example. Imagine submitting an offer on a property for 25% below the asking price. Without setting the anchor of such a low initial offer, a 5% concession below the asking price would not seem like a good deal. But because the initial offer of 25% below the asking price was so low, the 5% concession seems like a great deal, even though it's still below the original asking price. This is the power of anchoring in negotiations. By setting an extreme anchor, you can make even a less favorable offer seem like a good deal in comparison. By using the anchoring technique, you can set the tone for the rest of the negotiation and increase your chances of achieving your desired outcome. Stay tuned for the next strategy. Loss aversion is a psychological tendency where people place more emphasis on avoiding loss than on making gains. As humans, we are hardwired to avoid pain and discomfort. In the context of negotiation, this means that people are often more motivated to avoid losing something they already have than to gain something new. To use this to your advantage in negotiations, position the deal not getting done as a loss of something valuable. Whether it's a missed opportunity, a loss of market share, or something else, framing it as a loss can activate the other party's preservation instincts and make them more willing to come to an agreement. Think about it. If someone feels like they're losing something, they're much more likely to want to protect it. By framing the negotiation as a way to prevent loss, you can tap into this powerful instinct and increase your chances of success. Loss aversion is a powerful psychological concept, and it's one that can be used to great effect in negotiations. By framing the negotiation in terms of avoiding loss, you can make the other party more motivated to come to an agreement. The next time you're in a negotiation, think about how you can use loss aversion to your advantage. Let's take a look at an example. You can use the uncertainty of the future to insinuate circumstances may change and negatively affect your counterparty. For instance, you can say something like, if interest rates rise, the value of this property may go down by $200,000. By doing this, you have planted the seed that inaction may be costly. These types of statements can create fear in your counterparty's mind, and they may feel like they are losing out on a great opportunity if they don't act now. It's a subtle psychological tactic that can tip the scales in your favor. Remember, it's important to use this tactic ethically and not to manipulate or deceive your counterpart. Use it as a way to help them see the potential risks and rewards of different options, so they can make an informed decision. Have you ever considered the power of specificity in negotiation? According to Columbia University researchers, using specific numbers can lead to better outcomes. But why is that the case? It all comes down to perceived knowledge. When you make a hyper-specific offer, it suggests a deep understanding of the value of the object being negotiated. This can give you an edge in the negotiation and improve the outcome. Remember, negotiation is all about gaining an advantage. And negotiating with specificity is a powerful tool, and it can help you achieve just that. Here's why. Imagine you're trying to buy a car, and you make an offer of $10,000. It's a round number, but it lacks specificity. It suggests that you don't have a deep understanding of the value of the car, and it won't be taken seriously. But if you offer $9,517, it shows that you've done your research and you know exactly what the car is worth. But there's another tip to remember when negotiating with specificity. Avoid ending your offer in a zero. It sounds too rounded and can make you seem less knowledgeable about the value of the object. Instead, just like in our example, opt for a more specific number like $9,517. So, the next time you're negotiating, try being as specific as possible. It just might make a big difference in the outcome. Reciprocity is a powerful psychological principle that smart negotiators use to their advantage. It's deeply ingrained in our psyche that people hate to be in debt. This is why small gifts or favors can create feelings of indebtedness in the recipient, making them more likely to make a concession. The payback on this debt can be disproportionately large compared to the original gift, making it an effective strategy. However, it's essential to note that the gifts or favors must be personalized and meaningful to elicit this powerful response. For example, sending your counterparty their favorite wine with a thoughtful note can endear them to you and make them more likely to concede to your terms. This strategy can be the deciding factor in getting the final concession that you really want. Remember, the key to using this strategy effectively is to make sure the gift or favor is thoughtful and personalized. It's not about the size or cost of the gift, but the intention behind it that matters. Next time you're negotiating, think about what small gesture you can make to create feelings of indebtedness in the other party. It could make all the difference in getting the outcome you want. Negotiation is not a zero-sum game. It's not just about getting the biggest piece of the pie. You want the other party to leave feeling like they got something too. John Getty famously said, "You must never try to get all the money in a deal. Let the other fellow get some too." It's important to remember that a reputation for being too ruthless will eventually turn off potential partners. Fair deals that include concessions for both parties are essential to building long-lasting business relationships. As a negotiator, you should create a list of no concession points, provisions that you cannot compromise on. However, being willing to budge on smaller or ancillary points demonstrates good faith and a willingness to make the deal work. In this way, both parties can walk away feeling like they made progress towards their goals. Remember, negotiation is about creating a win-win outcome. Forced empathy is a technique used by experienced negotiators to steer a conversation back on track when tensions are rising. Instead of responding emotionally to an unreasonable demand, you ask calibrated questions that force the other side to understand your position. By using phrases like, "How am I supposed to do that? How can we both win here?" Or, "What's the best way to resolve this?" you reintroduce logic to the conversation, realigning boundaries and forcing the other side to rethink their position. It's important to remain calm and genuine when using forced empathy, as insincerity can push tensions even higher and potentially end negotiations altogether. The goal is to reset the conversation and move forward in a sensible manner with a realigned understanding of both parties' needs and desires. The next time you're faced with an unreasonable demand or escalating tensions, try using forced empathy to get the conversation back on track and move towards a mutually beneficial resolution. The sunk cost fallacy is a trap that many dealmakers fall into, causing them to stick to a bad deal out of a sense of obligation or sunk costs. It happens when someone has already invested a lot of time or money into something, and they feel like they have to keep going with it, even if it's not a good deal or it's not going well. This is because they don't want to feel like they wasted all the time and effort they've already put into it, even if stopping or walking away would be the smarter choice. But the reality is that the ultimate leverage in any negotiation is the ability to do it and leave the bargaining table. If you don't have the willingness to walk away, you don't have any power in the negotiation. Cultivating the ability to be ready to leave requires seeking alternative options and creating leverage. The more options you have, the more power you hold in the negotiation. Don't be afraid to explore other opportunities and alternatives. When negotiating, be wary of last-minute changes or provisions. If something is being snuck in at the last minute, just as you think the deal is closed, it's likely a deliberate move to take advantage of your sunk cost fallacy and lack of willingness to give up on negotiations. Remember, the power in a negotiation comes from your ability to walk away. Hold on to that power by cultivating alternative options, being aware of last-minute changes, and always keeping in mind your bottom line. Only then can you confidently negotiate and secure a deal that works for you. Negotiation is a powerful tool that can help us achieve our goals, whether it's in business, in our personal lives, or in any other aspect of our lives. By utilizing the strategies we've discussed today, from using uncertainty to your advantage, to creating a win-win situation, to being willing to walk away, you can improve your negotiation skills and achieve greater success. Remember, negotiation is not about winning or losing, it's about finding a mutually beneficial solution that works for everyone involved. So the next time you find yourself in a negotiation, remember the benefits of negotiation and the strategies we've discussed. With practice, you can become a skilled negotiator and achieve the outcomes you desire. But we want to hear from you. What are your favorite negotiation techniques? How have you used them to achieve success? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. See you on the next video.